love is gone, that your love is gone.
But we were born to be alone. Oh my gosh, is that Blackpink? Oh yes. Blackpink is entering? The queens are entering. Oh my, oh my. Whoa. How do they get prettier day by day? Omo, look how beautiful Jisoo looks even in such casual clothes. Jisoo. Jennie. Rosé, oh my goodness, Rose. Lisa leads the way. The four girls got down elegantly from their BMW and entered through the main door, only to be greeted by a crowd of students going crazy about their arrival. The girls were squealing and shouting in high pitch, while the boys were greeting and cheering them as they are some sort of celebrity. In other words, utter chaos. The girls smartly and confidently walked by the crowds and made their way to the private room in the university, not giving a damn to the roaring crowds. The room was particularly reserved for them. Nobody other than them could enter there. While everybody wondered what went on in that room, nobody dared to actually spy on them. How can they, when Blackpink is the adopted daughters of one of the biggest businessmen in Korea, Ig? Now that explains their popularity in university. Everybody knew the four girls, collectively called Blackpink. They were always the talk of the university. Some idolized them, some envied them, some hated them, but most of them were curious about the life of the four girls. For they couldn't help but radiate a mysterious aura which seemed impenetrable yet irresistible at the same time, wherever they went. These four girls never shared anything about them, which eventually led to a plethora of rumors about them. They had no friends outside Blackpink, not even a social media account so they thought. Nobody knew who they dated, where they went after school, even how they learned to play chess so brilliantly. All they knew was that the girls were brilliant and intelligent, a perfect example of beauty with brains. They are always among the top students of the university and a favorite of the teachers. Even though some people doubted their manipulation of teachers due to their high status, the girls have proved repeatedly that they are beyond just a pretty face. All the mysteries, rumors, and fan culture around them made the girls unique and somehow different among all others in their university. Finally entering Blackpink's private room and shutting the door tight, Rosé huffed. Every single day, all these crazy people need to burst my eardrums and give me a headache early in the morning. Lisa chuckled. I enjoy it though. It gives F4 vibes. You know, next generation female flower 4. Yeah, because you are the noisiest person ever born on this planet, Rosé retorted. Jisoo snickered at the usual bickering duo and buried her nose in the book she was currently reading while Jennie busied herself with her phone. Anyways, I have a whole 1 hour left till my first class. I will be practicing, so you better keep your mouth shut, Lycia. Rosé pulled her favorite guitar from its case and strung at the strings. For your kind information, Miss Park Ki-young, I have my dance class now, so goodbye. Lisa tied her hair in a high ponytail, put a headband, changed into comfortable trousers and a black oversized t-shirt, collected her bag and started making her way towards the door. Bye guys, see you in the lunch break. Hey Liz, don't forget we have a meeting with Ig today, so don't be late. Jennie called out behind her. Yeah, Annai, I remember. Lisa mumbled and exited the door. As soon as Lisa left the room, Jennie put her phone down and said, Honestly though, why does Teddy need to tell us about the meeting? Shouldn't Dad do it himself? We haven't seen him or talked to him for almost a month now. Rosé stopped playing her guitar and looked at Jennie. And moreover, why did he not tell anything about the topic of the meeting yet? We need to have a forecast before doing something. Maybe Dad wants to teach us how to handle things without assignment and forecasts now. Jennie mumbled, unsatisfied. Oh please Jennie Annai, we are well acquainted to that. Exactly. Then why the hell does Dad need to meet us like this? Even our missions seem less confidential than this meeting now. If they want to give us another high-grade mission again, which I am dying to get, but that's not the point here. The point is that, why are they so secretive about it from us? Rosé wondered out loud, furrowing her brows in the process. This isn't about mission this time. Jisoo said, not leaving her eyes from her book. Jennie and Rosé looked at her. What? Jennie asked in confusion. Jisoo finally put her book aside and straightened from her seat. There is something else Dad would tell us this time. Or else he wouldn't call us to visit in after the lunch break. Or more precisely when there is still daylight in the sky, right? The other two pondered over her words carefully. Jisoo was right. Their missions are always decided and implemented in the dead of the night. For their father always says that daylight tells everything, while there are secrets in the silence of the night. So, they are free to do anything in the morning, attending classes, studying, singing, dancing, sleeping, whatever they wanted. But at night, they undergo rigorous training and are sent on missions, sometimes high-risk assassination missions as well. Yes, under the veil of a student group majoring in music and dance, Blackpink is actually a mafia gang, one of the most powerful on the top of it. They have carried out some of the most dangerous missions, which was otherwise impossible for anyone with skills less than them. Their skills included combat techniques of both modern and ancient forms, as well as knowledge of drugs and poisons, criminology and hacking. Each of them, though being very different from one another and having expertise in different things, come together, work together, stay together, and are almost inseparable, swearing loyalty to one another. So now, they are well-trained assassins and a proud asset of their father, Ig. Does that mean he would say something which is not pleasant? Rosé doubtfully asked. Jisoo shrugged. There is nothing bad to be told about us. We have completed each and every mission assigned to us perfectly, with the least damage. There is something else this time. Jennie now sat up and said, Well, we can't do anything right now other than sitting here and wondering, right? Well, we'll see when we meet Dad in the evening. For now, let me just flex my muscles a bit. They are begging to be used for noble purposes. Saying so, she stood up, went to a nearby shelf and pulled out a large wooden box. Rosé picked up her guitar, but her eyes were fixed on Jennie. Jisoo went back to reading her book. The wooden box opened, revealing a shining metal, seeing which Jennie's face lit up in a similar tone. She took the piece of metal in her hand and glided her fingertips over it, carefully and elegantly, like it's the most precious thing in this world. Rosé chuckled. You are so old-fashioned, Anai. Still using a sword in the age of atomic bombs. Jennie swung her sword over her head swiftly, never breaking her concentration. This is my passion, Rosie. This is who I am. Nobody can take this passion from me. This sword, it just feels like another limb of mine whenever I touch it. She darted her cat eyes towards Rosé. If I ever lose my right hand, I would have a sword placed there. Jennie started doing some swishing movements with the sword, cutting through air, while Rosé kept staring at her in awe. This isn't the first time she is seeing Jennie being this passionate about her swords. They are always together, so they do know everything about each other. But every time it feels so new. The sleek movement of her wrists, the perfect swaying of her hips as she cuts through air, the elegant and clear leg movements. It seemed like she is dancing through air with her lover, the sword. And that makes the other girls stare at her in amazement. How she could transform a sword fight into a sword dance, a piece of art, even when it is stained with blood ink. Suddenly, Jisoo put down her rebook and almost hastily reached for her phone. The other two girls did not notice though, as they were both busy with their passions. She started scrolling through the news and stopped. Her eyebrows raised a bit as her eyes read the news. Girls! She called put without taking her eyes off the phone. The two heads turned towards her abruptly. Jennie, while she was just in the middle of landing a fatal blow on air, Rosé, while she was just completing the tune of Sunsets and Wildfires. They watched Jisoo smirk. I think I know why we are being called today. Good evening, my beautiful princesses. Come, sit down. The girls hugged their stepdad one by one and sat on the couch beside him. Good evening, Dad. How was your mission? You aren't hurt anywhere, are you? Ig smiled and shook his head. Not at all, dearie. Why will I be, when Ted was there with me all along? Standing at a far corner of the room, leaning against the wall while having his hands folded across his chest, Teddy snickered. The younger two girls rolled their eyes at him. So, Ig reclined back comfortably on the couch. How has life been to you? We haven't been on any missions for almost a month now, so yeah, pretty boring, Lisa said in a dull tone. And my muscles are all starting to get rusted for not using my sword for so long. Jennie massaged her hand, looking displeased. Just school, studies, practice, and looking pretty. Dad, don't just keep us sitting like this. Are all the criminals in Korea dead or what? Rose whined. Teddy chuckled silently. I know, my dears, how much eager you all are to fight. But you are now a high-grade gang, and these petty criminals are just out of your league. You should be prepared for bigger challenges. Just give us something, big or small. Lisa pouted. I don't care. Ig laughed and shook his head at his daughter's cuteness. It's really rare to see one of the greatest hackers in Korea being so cute and whiny. So, my eager princesses, you are graduating soon, right? Yeah, Jisoo said, and the other three nodded. What are you planning to do after that? Anything on your mind? We are always prepared to take down those criminals and relieve Mother Earth from her burden. Lisa declared nonchalantly. I see. Ig nodded his head and trailed off. His eyes became unfocused as he sunk into deep thoughts. The girls waited patiently for him to continue, for they were always taught to talk only after their father when he is present. Ig, after a long time, finally spoke again. Since you are all grown up now and can handle many things, I think you are ready for the mission I have been wanting to do for a long time. It is the greatest wish in my life, and I hope my princesses will be able to fulfill that. All the girls' faces lit up in an instant. Just say it, Dad. My gun is ready. Jisoo smirked. Finally, Rose smiled. Ig shook his head. This time, the mission is different from all the previous ones. You won't be requiring guns and weapons directly. This will now be a test of your presence of mind and how well you can control your emotions. Seeing the girls exchanging confused glances with each other, Ig leaned across the table and said, Do you remember my old friend, Bang Si-hyuk? Jisoo was the first to nod. Yes, Dad. Then you must have heard that his 7 adopted sons have returned from the military by now. Yeah, we saw it in the news this morning. Jennie confirmed. I want you to marry them. Jennie's eyes widened and jaw dropped. Rose choked on air and started coughing loudly while Lisa patted her back to calm her down. All of them looked at Ig with pure horror and disbelief. We asked for an assassination mission, Dad, not a marriage mission. Jisoo, the only calm one among them, spoke. We haven't even graduated yet. Why the hell are we marrying now? Rose questioned. We don't even know them. Moreover, Dad, didn't you teach us since childhood that there is no place for personal relationships in the mafia world? How can we do something like this then? Lisa almost shouted. Calm down, dears. Lisa, drink some water. I haven't finished my words yet. You can't be doing this to us. Lizea, calm down and hear out Dad first. Jisoo's strict yet friendly order did manage to shut Lisa up, but she continued to wriggle uncomfortably in the couch. I am not marrying you off like other typical fathers of daughters. This is your mission to enter Bang Si-hyuk's household and slowly finish his business, life, family. Even his sons whom he treasures so much. You can only do that if you earn their trust. And the best way to do that is by marrying his sons. Ig stopped to look at the girls' expressions. He only found Jisoo's cold stare. Since when did we become temptresses who lure other men, Dad? Dad, don't you believe us? Can't you think we are capable enough to complete the mission, even without entering the household by getting married? Rose was almost on the verge of tears, but she held it in forcefully. She can't show her weakness now. Don't get so disheartened, dearies. This is the best and most convenient way to do this task. I know you could have killed them in just one night. But, as I said before, this mission is special to me. I don't want an easy death for them. I want to finish them off slowly. And I promise you, after you kill them, you won't be given any more missions like this. You will be free to choose your missions. I will also give you my business after this mission. But for that, you have to do this job. Consider carefully. Jisoo pursed her lips, lost in deep thoughts. Rose, Jennie, and Lisa exchanged glances with one another. Taking one last glance at Jisoo, they sighed simultaneously. We are ready to do it, Dad. Give the instructions.